Today, I want to discuss a matter that should trouble every citizen, every subject of His Majesty in our country. A matter that reveals the dismal continuity of official indifference, even in the face of mortal danger to our fellow Britons. In recent days, in the last 2 weeks, the world has witnessed the grim spectacle of a British family, Lisa Baker, her teenage daughter Bella, her elderly mother Phyllis, trapped in Haifa, in Israel. They're surrounded by the shriek of sirens, the thud of ballistic missiles, the pall of smoke rising from Iranian attacks, and yet for nearly 2 weeks they and countless others have faced an appalling reality that the words Her Britannic Majesty's or His Britannic Majesty's Secretary of State requests and requires on their passports are little more than diplomatic mumbo-jumbo. The Foreign Office has offered them platitudes about monitoring the situation and urged them to cross borders that may close without notice. This is not assistance, it's an abdication masquerading as advice. It is in fact a telling echo of the Foreign Office culture established under Dominic Raab. Recall August 2021. As Kabul fell to the Taliban, Raab famously refused to cut short his sun-soaked holiday in Crete, lounging on the beach in Khanya, I presume, leaving desperate Afghans and British citizens alike to plead for help that never came. That disgraceful episode was not a one-off. It's revealed an institutionalized complacency in which urgent consular responsibilities were treated as an afterthought, delegated to bureaucracy, while ministers sought plausible deniability. Fast forward to June 2025, missiles striking Haifa, 8 people killed in a dawn attack on Monday alone, and Lisa Baker's family is sheltering in a hotel safe room, rationing fear and patience in equal measure. The UK government's grand plan telling them to find their own way overland to Jordan or Egypt, despite the Foreign Office's warnings that these crossings could close. Imagine telling a 78-year-old grandmother to bounce between border posts and airports in the middle of a regional war. This is not consular support, this is bureaucratic abandon. Our nation's, Britain has failed. Other nations have managed to help. Israel repatriated its citizens, Poland organised convoys, the Czech Republic and Slovakia arranged flights. Ms. Baker suggested the obvious that Britain charter ships to Cyprus, offering safe passage to a stable country, with direct flights to the UK. Instead, she is left planning convoluted journeys with layovers in Beirut, Istanbul and Jeddah, costing £6,000 each. And what does the Foreign Office say? That its priority is the safety and security of British nationals. Tosh. It's a hollow phrase, repeated so often it has lost any meaning. It would be dishonest to claim there's been no action at all. The UK did charter evacuation flights from Tel Aviv once a ceasefire took hold, but let's not forget, those flights came late. Airspace was closed for 10 days, and when the first flight left, just 63 people were on board, while thousands remained stranded. One passenger described the plan as shambolic every step of the way. Another expressed disappointment at contradictory messages from the Foreign Office, very slow at best, misleading at worst. But typical, if you go back to Kabul. I want to be clear. The civil servants who staffed emergency lines and RAF crews who flew into danger zones deserve gratitude. But they're asked to compensate for a political culture that refuses to plan ahead or take proper responsibility. This crisis has shown the Foreign Office is run in precisely the same fashion as the Home Office, bureaucratic, defensive, obsessed with disclaimers and averse to taking moral responsibility for British citizens abroad. And make no mistake, this culture has roots. It was nurtured by Dominic Raab as he slapped on Factor 10, who made it clear in 2021 that a Foreign Secretary's job was not to roll up his sleeves, but to find a scapegoat when things went wrong. Today, as Lisa Baker navigates missile strikes and the risk of closed borders, she's not only experiencing the terror of war, but also the insult of being told her government has no plans to help her home in any meaningful way. Is this the best we can do for British citizens abroad? Is this what global Britain means, a government that tells its own people to take their chances with dangerous, overland routes while issuing press releases about support being stepped up in neighbouring countries, we must demand more. A Foreign Office worthy of the name would have contingency plans for rapid evacuation by air, sea or land, including chartered ferries to Cyprus, as Miss Baker herself suggested. It would coordinate with allies in the region as Poland did to offer secure convoys. It would ensure clear, consistent communication to citizens instead of contradictory guidance. It would place human lives above the risk-averse instinct of a bureaucratic machine. In the end, this is not simply about one family in Haifa. It's about what kind of nation we have become, what kind of nation we are. A government that expects loyalty from its citizens must first demonstrate it. If our passports still claim the King's Secretary of State will protect us, then let us insist that those words have meaning. Or else, let's admit the truth, that they are all ceremonial relics, good for diplomatic theatre, but worthless when missiles are falling.